Frank seemed perfectly fine. He laughed at dinner, cleared his plate, even helped with the dishes. But the next morning, his wife found him unresponsive in bed. But by morning, he was gone. No warning, no cries for help, just silence. The doctor said it was likely a heart event in his sleep. Peaceful, they said, but his family was left in shock. Frank was active. He walked every morning, ate well, took his meds. So what went wrong? Sometimes the real warning signs don't show up in blood tests or doctor visits. They whisper through restless nights, disrupted sleep, or habits we brush off as no big deal. Have you ever wondered if some of your nighttime routines, things you do without thinking, might be quietly working against your health? In this video, we're going to explore 7 common nighttime mistakes people over 60 make, often without realizing it. These small habits can affect everything from memory and mood to your heart, your brain, and how well you age. But here's the good news. Each of them can be gently reversed. And when you do, you'll start to feel the difference. Not just in how you sleep, but in how alive you feel during the day. Let's begin with the most common mistake, one that often starts at the dinner table. Late night eating, a habit that ages your heart. Every night around 9:30, Carol would reach for a little snack. Just something light, she thought. Maybe a handful of crackers, some cheese, or a slice of banana bread. She said it helped her sleep, gave her something comforting before bed. But lately she'd been waking up groggy, her blood pressure was creeping up, and her doctor warned that her cholesterol levels weren't where they used to be. Turns out that small bedtime snack might have been doing more harm than good. You see, as we age, our metabolism slows down, especially at night. Our digestive system isn't designed to work overtime when the rest of the body is winding down. Eating late can lead to inflammation, poor blood sugar control, and added strain on the heart, especially if the food is high in sugar, fat, or salt. Over time, that adds up. In fact, several studies now link late-night eating with a higher risk of heart disease and even stroke in older adults. The fix, it's simple, but not always easy. Try to finish dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. If you truly need something, go for a light, protein-based snack like a small spoon of Greek yogurt or a slice of turkey breast. Foods that won't spike your blood sugar or make your heart work harder. The lesson here? Comfort doesn't always come from food. Sometimes the most loving thing you can give your body at night is nothing at all. And while late-night eating may be common, it's not the only habit sneaking into our routines. Next, let's talk about something even more subtle. Hydration before bed, and why that healthy glass of water might be stealing your sleep. Too much water before bed, a hidden sleep disruptor. James prided himself on staying hydrated. At 68, he carried his water bottle everywhere. And every night, right before bed, he made sure to drink a full glass. To stay healthy, he said. But here's what started happening. He began waking up twice, then 3 times each night. Not from noise, not from dreams, but from the urge to use the bathroom. At first, he brushed it off, but the broken sleep left him tired during the day. He started forgetting names, skipping morning walks, even dozing off during conversations. What James didn't realize was that nighttime hydration, while well-intended, can quietly sabotage deep sleep, especially as we get older. As we age, our kidneys process fluids differently, and our bladder becomes more sensitive. That one glass of water before bed, it might mean multiple wake-ups, interrupting the critical sleep cycles your brain and body need to restore themselves. Poor sleep isn't just about feeling tired. It's linked to memory decline, heart strain, and weakened immunity. So what's the better approach? Drink water steadily throughout the day and taper off by early evening. If your mouth is dry before bed, a small sip is fine, but avoid large amounts in the last 1-2 hours before sleep. The small lesson? Sometimes doing what's healthy needs to be timed just right. The same water that fuels you can also wear you down if it interrupts your rest. Have you noticed sleep interruptions from late-night drinking? Share your experience in the comments. It helps others realize they're not alone. Now, what if I told you the next habit looks completely harmless, but is quietly rewiring your brain every night? Let's talk about screen time and the surprising effect it has on aging minds. Screen time before bed, rewiring the aging brain. Linda had a little ritual. After dinner, she'd curl up in her recliner, phone in hand. Just a few videos, a scroll through the news, maybe a quick game before bed. It helps me unwind, she'd say. But over time, something changed. She started having trouble falling asleep. Her dreams felt more vivid, sometimes unsettling. And in the morning, she felt foggy, like her mind had stayed up long after her body went to bed. She blamed it on age, but the real culprit was sitting quietly in her palm every night. You see, screens, phones, tablets, TVs, emit a type of light called blue light. And blue light is a master at tricking the brain. It tells your internal clock that it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep. For older adults, this disruption hits even harder. As we age, our natural melatonin production already declines. Adding screen time before bed can push sleep cycles even further out of sync. And it's not just about falling asleep. Studies show that frequent pre-bed screen use can reduce deep sleep, which is crucial for brain repair, memory processing, and even emotional balance. So what can you do? Try setting a screen sunset for yourself. Turn off bright screens at least an hour before bed. Replace scrolling with a calming routine. Light stretching, soft music, or a printed book. Even 5 screen-free nights can make a noticeable difference. Here's the lesson. The mind doesn't rest just because the body lies down. What you feed it in those final moments shapes how deeply it heals overnight. Now let's turn to something that seems innocent, maybe even helpful. Nighttime supplements and sleep aids. But are they truly supporting your body or just knocking you out? Relying on sleep aids, sedation is not real rest. Margaret used to joke that melatonin was her magic pill. At 70, she struggled with falling asleep, especially after her husband passed. A friend recommended a natural sleep supplement, and to her surprise, it worked. She drifted off quickly, sometimes within minutes. But weeks turned into months, and soon she needed more than just one tablet. She started mixing in over-the-counter sleep aids, thinking, it's still better than sleeping pills. Except she wasn't really sleeping. She was sedated. What Margaret didn't know is that many sleep aids, including the natural ones, don't lead to true restorative sleep. They often knock you out by dulling brain activity, not by guiding your body through the deep, healing stages of sleep it needs. Especially in older adults, long-term use of sleep aids can cause daytime drowsiness, memory lapses, and even increase the risk of falls, a serious concern in aging. Even melatonin, when misused, can backfire. High doses or irregular timing may confuse your body's internal clock instead of helping it. So what's the alternative? Focus on rebuilding your natural sleep rhythm. That means gentle consistency, waking up at the same time each day, getting morning sunlight, creating calming bedtime routines. If supplements are needed, use them short-term, under guidance. The real lesson? Falling asleep fast isn't the same as sleeping well. Sedation is silence, but healing comes from deep rest your body earns, not buys. And speaking of natural rhythms, there's one silent disruptor that can throw it all off. Temperature. Let's talk about how the warmth in your room or under your covers could be tricking your brain and stealing your deep sleep. Too warm to heal. Why cooler sleep is deeper sleep. Ron loved being cozy. Every night he'd slip into bed with flannel pajamas, thick socks, and a heavy blanket his daughter gave him for Christmas. It made him feel safe, like a warm hug from the past. But night after night, he found himself tossing and turning. He'd wake up sweating, kicking off the covers, heart beating just a little too fast. I'm just getting old, he thought. But the truth was simpler and far more fixable. As we fall asleep, our core body temperature naturally drops. It's one of the brain's signals that it's time to enter deeper stages of rest. But when the room is too warm or we're bundled up too tightly, this cooling process gets interrupted. And without that temperature drop, we miss out on deep sleep. The phase where the brain clears waste, the heart rate slows, and the body repairs tissues. Research shows that keeping the bedroom around 60 to 67 degrees, 15 to 19 degrees, promotes the best sleep quality for most adults. Light bedding, breathable fabrics, and even opening a window slightly can make a surprising difference. Ron didn't need medication, just a lighter quilt and a cracked window. Within a week, his sleep deepened and his mornings felt brighter. The small lesson? Comfort isn't always about warmth. Sometimes the best way to care for your body is to give it room to cool, breathe, and truly rest. Have you ever noticed you sleep better in a cooler room? Let us know in the comments. Your tip might help someone else sleep more peacefully tonight. Now there's just one last habit to uncover. And it's not something we do at night. It's something we carry into it. Let's talk about stress. Bringing stress to bed, the silent sleep killer. Elaine never thought of herself as stressed. She didn't have a demanding job anymore. Her kids were grown. Life had slowed down. But every night as she laid in bed, her mind would come alive. Did I forget to take my pills today? What if the pain in my knee gets worse? Will I be a burden to my family? She'd close her eyes, but her thoughts just circled. Some nights, it took hours to drift off. Other nights, she'd wake at 3 a.m., heart racing, mind wide awake. It wasn't what she was doing. It was what she was carrying. Stress doesn't always look like panic or pressure. In older adults, it often shows up as quiet worry, rumination, or even regret. And when we bring that mental load to bed, our body follows, releasing cortisol, tensing muscles, raising heart rate. Sleep becomes light, fragmented, or simply doesn't come. So what helps? One of the simplest tools is a mind dump journal. Before bed, write down what's circling in your mind, without judgment. Some people also find peace in guided breathing, prayer, or soft instrumental music. What matters most is creating safety, both mentally and physically. Telling your brain, it's okay to rest now. Elaine didn't need to solve everything. She just needed to let her mind put down the weight for one night. The gentle truth? You can't always fix your worries before bed, but you can choose not to carry them under the covers. How do you unwind your mind before sleep? Share your evening habit or calming trick in the comments. You never know who it might help. And now let's bring it all together. Because one or two habits might feel small, but when practiced night after night, they have the power to rewrite your health, your energy, and even your future. We've just walked through 7 quiet habits that may be stealing your rest without you even realizing it. From late night screen time, to warm bedrooms and cold worries, to the pills and patterns we think are helping, but maybe holding us back. But here's the good news. Sleep isn't lost, and neither is your energy, your clarity, or your sense of peace. Because better sleep isn't built overnight. It's shaped by small choices. Gentle shifts, a little more awareness, a little more care. Maybe tonight you turn off the screen a bit earlier. Maybe tomorrow you open the window just a crack. Maybe this weekend you take a walk in the morning sun because your body still remembers how to reset. And maybe, just maybe, next week you'll wake up feeling a little more like yourself. If any part of this video made you think of someone you love, send it their way. If something resonated with you personally, tell us in the comments. Your story matters. And if you'd like more gentle, science-backed ways to live stronger and sleep deeper, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Because rest isn't a luxury, it's your right, and it's never too late to reclaim it.